Hey guys, this is Shane with DnSAdventures, and as you know by now, we have the new fifth wheel, but now we need to install our WeBoost that we had on our original RV. As you can see, the pole here is not going to be tall enough, and honestly, we don't really even need that pole anymore. We can attach the WeBoost to this ladder. One of the biggest problems for the WeBoost installation is getting the wire from the outside of the trailer to the inside of the trailer to make that connection between the outer antenna and the inner antenna. So as you guys probably know from the last video I shot with the smaller trailer, I didn't really want to drill in from the top of the roof because that could cause warranty issues. That could also cause leaks if you did not seal it up properly. I was inspecting the Grand Design here, and it's much more insulated than the last Rockwood we had. So I was thinking about drilling it up through here. This is just a little outdoor kitchen. Thought about passing it up through there and into the kitchen where we'd had the internal antenna, but I found something quite useful. So right here is actually a vent for the gray tank or the sink right on the other side of this wall here for the kitchen. It literally just goes up through here, and there's a hole that goes into the pipe where the air can be vented out from our sink. I realize this is not going to be useful for all of you because many of you might not actually have this vent on the back of your trailer, but if you do have this, I might have a workaround for you with less drilling involved that could void your warranties. But first, let's go ahead and hook up this antenna to the ladder. Should be pretty easy. It has brackets on there, and you just got to bolt them onto the side. This is a little bit of a struggle and dangerous because if I drop one of these guys, imagine it's not going to be very easy to pick back up, or even find for that matter. Once you get the top two on, it makes it a little bit easier, so you don't have to hold it the entire time. After you get it to this point, obviously this can swivel however you want it. I'm probably going to try to get it to a way these bolts aren't cutting me off as I'm trying to come up this ladder, but I will try to arrange that to the best that fits me, and you can do the same for yourself. Since we are going to be mounting this permanently, there are a couple screws down here I'll want to make sure I get completely tightened so this thing doesn't fall off as we're going down the road. Ideally, you would do this before you actually install this, so you aren't clinging onto the ladder with one hand while you try to screw this in with the other hand. So for the next step of this install, I'm actually going to be taking you inside. As far as all the drilling and everything, we are completely done for the exterior. It is now going to the interior of the RV. So I do not think I'm going to be able to film all this just because it's in a very awkward location. But as you can see, here's the pipe that comes down from the sink. The sink drains into here, goes around in this tube, and then it drains down to our secondary gray tank. Our secondary gray tank doesn't have its own air exhaust that goes out through the top of the roof. That pipe that goes out over here on the side of the RV is actually just an air vent for that gray tank. So my idea is to drill a hole into the side of this pipe. Since water will not be escaping there, only air will be. Put the WeBoost wire through this pipe and then seal in around that wire so no air is coming in through that pipe into the RV itself. I have some silicone sealant that I'm going to be putting around it, so I think this should be a fairly smooth installation. It's just going to be trying to feed out the proper amount of wire through that pipe once the hole is drilled. So on your WeBoost, you have an outside antenna port and you have an inside antenna port. The outside antenna port is going to be the smaller of your wire to go from inside to outside. So the inside one will be going around the smaller cylinder here, and the outside one is a little bit bigger, and that'll be attaching to your external antenna. So with that being said, in my case, I'm going to want to drill a hole big enough to fit this larger antenna all the way through the pipe underneath the kitchen sink. And unfortunately, it looks like it has to be about a 1/2 inch hole in order to fit this through. So my largest drill bit I have is just shy of a 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna have to use a spade bit, which I imagine is gonna be a little bit more difficult to drill with a pipe. So I will see how this goes. So I was just thinking to myself, what if Grand Design put some sort of mesh filter or something in there that wouldn't allow me to feed my wire through. So I did end up taking this off. It looks like it goes all the way through till that elbow. So as long as I drill somewhere after that elbow, I should be able to feed that wire right through here. And now that this cover is off, that should be a lot easier. All right guys, I don't think you can probably see that, but I did get a hole all the way through the pipe, and now it's just time to feed that wire through.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
Now that we got the wire through, hi Deanna.
Hello.
We're wrapping it around this ladder here, and then we're gonna screw it in, and we should be almost finished on the outside. Now we just gotta screw these back in here. And there was a little bit of silicone sealant going around the top, so I'm gonna put a little bit more on here just to make sure we don't have any moisture issues. And just like that, we're almost done. All sealed on the outside. Got a nice little thin layer of silicone to fill up any gaps that I may have caused. And now we're done on the outside. Now where the wire's feeding through on the inside, I just need to put some silicone around that just to keep all those vapors going outside rather than underneath this cabinet. Well guys, after that step, really all you have to do is find a place to mount that WeBoost inside, run the wires where you need to run them, and you can look at our last video or WeBoost install. You'll want to make sure you have enough distance between your external antenna and your internal antenna so you don't have any interference. And once you reach that point, you're pretty much installed and you're ready to get your signal boosted. Alright guys, thank you for watching. You can also check out other videos like this on DnSAdventures.com. And as always, adventure on.